Hey, I got my special guest in here to start us off this morning. So,
Happy Wednesday.
February 2nd, here we go. My special guest had to go get his cocoa this morning, so I'll go ahead and take it from here. 557 active single family residential listings between Jackson and Josephine counties right now. And over the last 7 days, we had 125 new listings hit the market. And that's a lot for right now. We'll talk about that in a second. 61 price changes, 34 back on the market, 120 went pending over the last 7 days, 98 closes, and 36 were expired, withdrawn, or canceled, meaning they came off the market for some other reason than being sold. And that all brings us to about 5.5 weeks worth of inventory based on just a snapshot of that week. Now, I got to give a big shout out to my photographer, Kevin, at Apex Virtual Tours, who accurately guessed the number of new listings we were going to see on the market this week. At a new listing of mine, he did the pictures and he said he's going to go between 120 to 130 new listings as his guess, and he nailed it, 125. And so apparently there's a really strong correlation between the number of new listing pictures he takes in a week and the number of actual new listings that do come through that week. So nailed it. Nice work, Kevin. Thanks for the pictures. And the picture on this video is actually one of his. So if you want great work done, he is your man. So congrats on that. Now back to the data. Okay, a couple things stand out to me on the data. So number one, I said the 125 new listings is actually a lot. And we didn't see that level of new listing activity until March of last year. So we're definitely ahead of schedule. Okay, we're averaging 93 new listings per week this year, where we were only at 82 last year. So that's like a 13% gain year over year. Okay, and then on the closing side of it, we're averaging 86 closings per week so far this year compared to only 82. So that's a little bit less than 5% of a gain. So you can see that the new listing activity is outpacing, the increase in new listings is outpacing the increase in closings year over year. All right, so that's okay. That's a good thing. That means that we have more homes being sold, overall, and that's great. So more transactions closing is good for everyone, right? And while I thought inventory was going to actually go down a little bit lower and maybe even into the 400s or even lower than that, I don't know if I see that happening anymore. I think we might get into the 400s, but based on what I'm seeing with the amount of new listings that have been hitting the market and the amount of sustained buyer demand going on in there, I think we're going to probably be kind of around the same mark, and that's great. Like, this is a really, really good place to be because, like I said, buyers can actually find a house to write an offer on, and sellers are not typically running into appraisal issues because there's more deals happening, and there's more comps for an appraiser to compare to. So, all in all, looking really, really good. So, how does that compare to last year? That's the important question. In my mind, it's better. I think we're in a better spot than we were last year. If you're a seller, the prices, home values have gone up. Okay, obviously compared to last year, they've gone up a lot, and you're still getting multiple offers in a lot of cases. If you're in, a turnkey, ready to go house in town, like, you're gonna get a ton of offers, a ton of action. Okay, if you're something a little bit more unique, it may take a little bit. Okay, that's kind of the difference between last year to this year. But as a buyer, things are great. Okay, the rates are a little higher than they were last year, of course, but you actually have options. So it's kind of a trade-off. Would you rather pay a little bit more in interest rate to actually be able to have a house to find? Like, that's a good question, but that's the reality of where we're at. I mean, we do have a little bit higher rates. We do have higher inventory, so you can find a house. And in the grand scheme of things, a rate still under 4% is phenomenal. Okay, I remember my very first house we bought. It was like the most exciting thing in the world to get a rate at 5.25. Okay, and I know if you talk to people older than I am, they'll talk about how amazing their rate was and how excited they were when the rate was 8%. Okay, so 3.75, 4, like, there's nothing wrong with those rates at all. So that's all we got for you today. Thank you for checking this out. Please subscribe to the channel here. You can see the little button down here below. Check it out so you'll get alerted when these videos come out every week. And as usual, if there's anything in the world I can do for you, please do not hesitate to reach out. Have a great rest of your week, and we will see you next week. Take care.